Hello, welcome to what will hopefully be a long podcast. Hasn't been edited, don't know how long it's going to be. And hopefully it'll be long in the sense that it runs for multiple episodes. Hopefully this isn't just a one-off thing that me and my friends do. Uh, I'm Nikki. I'm here with my friend Adam,
What's up?
and I'm here with my other friend Schmuck.
Woo!
And we all got together one night and decided that we were funny. So we're gonna make it everyone else's problem. So we made this podcast. It is called Irregular with a lowercase I and a period at the end because we wanted to.
Don't forget the period either.
Don't forget the period. Every time that you tell anyone about this podcast, you must type irregular period and then
Although,
continue a conversation like it was never there.
otherwise, you owe us $5. Every time you don't say the period, you owe us $5 each.
Yes, here's my Venmo. Not actually. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy the episode. We just finished recording it for the night and I think that it was pretty funny. I hope that you all find it the same. Adam Schmuck, do you have any words of wisdom or warnings before they listen to the things that we've just said?
Please be nice to me. I'm trying my best.
I can't believe that the Georgia Bulldogs lost to Alabama. That's it. I'm still reeling about it.
Thank you for dating the episode.
No problem. I want to do that every time.
Okay.
I can't believe current team lost to current team.
Okay. We'll see you guys probably a week after this goes up for episode 2. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. Catch you later.
A week.
Grab some popcorn.
I have a really funny work story for you guys.
Uh-huh.
One of my coworkers is named Joji, and that's not his real name, but that's like his preferred name that he goes by. Not because he's like trans or anything like that, purely because he likes the rapper Joji, and so he wants people to call him Joji. And multiple people have tried to explain to him that that's stupid. But he is the kind of teenager where when someone is like, "That's stupid, why would you do that?" He goes, "I'm gonna do it harder," and so he has this issue where he's just like, he is one of the least, genuinely, one of the like most obnoxious teenagers that I have met in recent years, and he refuses to like stop at all. He just like doubles down on everything he does. For some reason, he says type shit every other sentence. I'll be like, Joji, I need you to go, rearrange the walk-in, and he'll be like, it's cold in there. I fucking hate that. I'm like, I wasn't asking. You need to go do it. And he goes type shit and walks away. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? But he's been there since I got back into town and went back to my old job. And so there was never a point where I was there without him, so I never got the chance to like have work without him. So I don't know what it's like. But we got a new guy starting earlier this week, and I had Joji showing him how to do the dishes near the end of the night.
Oh, boy.
And the way that our store is arranged, the dish pit is like the far back of the store. When you're back there, you cannot see or hear anyone else in the store. And vice versa. If someone's in the dish pit, they are like just basically not there. So, but in order to go out the back door of the store, you have to walk past, and you get like a little snippet of what's going on in the dish pit. So typically, when the standard employees are doing the dishes, the manager will take out the trash after they've been there for probably 20-30 minutes, because that gives them a chance to walk by and see if they're on task,
Mhm.
And
So
so
they're off in
I'm
baby jail. Gotcha.
yeah, exactly. And so I'm taking out the trash, and I take out the trash, and I come back in, and as I'm walking by, they're doing their work, so I don't stop at all. As I'm walking by, all I hear is, Joji, that's super fucking annoying. Could you shut up for like 2 seconds? And it's the only thing I heard. And the new guy was so respectful to me all day because I'm his boss. And just hearing him be a genuine person, and on his second day, he's already sick of this dude's shit. It was so funny, dude. And today the new guy wasn't there, but Joji was, and so I was like, Joji, I heard the new guy say this to you. What was up with that? Do I need to like talk to him? Was he being like overtly mean or something? And he goes, I just said like type shit too much, I guess, and he told me to stop. And I was like, dude, why do you take it from him and not anyone else? And he's like, I don't know, type shit. And then he just walked away. And I was like, this is my fucking life now, dude. This sucks.
Well, that's the same dude who he wore that fucking feather earring and got shit all over, right? After he was warned that he's gonna get like
Yes.
shit on it, right?
I
Yeah,
remember.
that's my favorite story.
I remember the period thing. It's a story about the same fucking dude.
What happened?
We learned like 2 days ago that this dude cannot do multiplication at all.
Oh god.
Like you ask him 5 times 5 and he's completely clueless, and he gets like super indignant about it. You'll like an example was Joji, what's 10 times 10? He goes, the amount of times I fucked your mom, and then he walks away. Like it's like we've learned from context and people asking him over and over and over again that he genuinely doesn't know his multiplication tables, but as a result, we've just learned that he doesn't know much about math in general. And so, for anyone who isn't aware, the numbers are officially called Arabic numerals because they were made in Arabia, way back when. They were made by Arabs. So they're called Arabic numerals. And so, the day after we found out that he couldn't do multiplication, I'm working with the dude. And I go, Joji, do you know your Arabic numerals? And he goes, the fuck is that? And I'm like, your Arabic numerals, do you know them? And he goes, nobody in this room knows their Arabic numerals. And it was me, 2 other managers, and Joji at work. And all of the managers are super tight with each other. We've got a group chat that we chat in all the time. We play fucking 8-ball pool in it. And the other 2 managers are like very like into what they're doing. But I just go, Tyler, do you know your Arabic numerals? And he goes, of course I know my Arabic numerals. What are you talking about? And he goes back to what he's doing. And then Joji goes, this is some shit. You guys planned this. This sucks. And then he goes to the other manager who's on the other side of the store and goes, hey, do you know what the 7th Arabic numeral is? And he goes, it's fucking 7, Joji. and he goes, type shit, and goes back to working.
I was about to say, at least he didn't say type shit, but damn.
He said type shit. This fucking dude will not stop saying it. I don't know how to get him to stop.
I gotta start saying that now.
Please don't.
You've unlocked a new catchphrase.
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm gonna lose my mind, dude.
Type shit.
No.
You just record that and that's your entrance like music every time you come in.
It's my Discord joint sound.
Yeah.
Type shit.
Type shit.
I wish I had
And now
people
you-
like that at my work. My work's so boring. Like the worst that we get, or that I get, is one of my coworkers says that she enjoys bullying me, and that's it. That's like the
Your coworker said she enjoys bullying you.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's the the most interesting thing that happens at my work. There's nothing going on.
But
Is she
what
good
do
at bullying you?
actually do?
That's stock shows. I unload the truck and then I stock shows, but like overnight, so there's nothing going on.
I thought for a second you just said stocks. I do stocks.
Do you like do you guys like listen to music or do you talk to each other?
We talk obviously, but like it's not like we're having conversations with each other. We have our headphones in. We're just listening to music, but
Talk enough for her to bully you, apparently.
she really like just bugs me a lot. That's not like
Okay,
making fun of her, but like she just
So it sounds like she's bad at bullying you too. Like, that's what I'm kind of getting from that.
she's just like throws like trash at me. And like if I'm like crouched down putting some stuff on the shelf, she'll like kick it over. I just get bullied at my place of work.
I feel really, really lucky just because I work at a like small business, so I regularly work with the owner most days. And like I worked with him one day. It was the day after the hurricane. So we saw we had like 2 people come in. That's about it. One person called for the whole freaking day, and we literally just started laughing because my boss was telling me he loved that one country song that goes "What day I'm not as good as, and we just started doing these dumb like scenes of like his Dave was getting his butt kicked. And he's like, "Help me, friend." And he's like, "But Dave." It was the dumbest thing of all time.
I
But
wish I had that. It's like that sounds somewhat at least fun.
it was the most fun two-person day, the like two customer day I've ever had.
Two
Like,
customers.
dude. And actually, no one bought anything either. Like they just came in and looked around. Yeah, I work at a paint store, so they just came in and looked at paint colors and left. I
Dude,
think
I
when,
love your boss so much.
dude, he's so good.
He's such a character. Like in the best way. Schmuck, my first ever introduction to Adam's boss was Adam was working at this place before it was owned by this guy. It got like sold to this guy and he just kept Adam around.
Mhm.
But so it was already like established that I would kind of just like come and sit in the store and then chat with Adam for a little bit and like just hang out. And typically before I come and hang out, I text Adam like, "Hey, I'm gonna drop by for a bit." Or nowadays, because he's working at like a bunch of different locations, I text him like, "What store are you at?" And then that's kind of also like my indication that I'm gonna drop by if he's at one of the ones that are near me. And so this for some reason this day I didn't text him. I completely forget why, but I didn't text him, and I also it completely fleeted my mind that it was around like noon, and so he would probably be out getting lunch on his lunch break. And I get there, and he's not there at all, and this guy that I've never met before is there. And so I don't go inside yet because Adam's not there. His car isn't in the parking lot, and I text him and I say, "Are you working today?" And he texts me back and says, "Yeah, I'm out getting lunch, but I'll be at work in like it was like 20 or 30 minutes."
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "All right, Adam will be back soon. Whatever. I guess, I'll go see who this guy is because the store that Adam was at that day usually has like one or two people that work at it and that's it." And so I was like, if I haven't seen this guy before, he's probably I'm gonna see him in the future, so I might as well introduce myself to him.
Mhm.
And so I go in, and there's this table that with chairs that you can sit at while you're waiting for your paint to get mixed. And I walk in, and the new owner is helping a lady with something, and so I just walk in and sit down at the table and don't say anything. And he finishes helping the lady, and the lady leaves. And he then looks at me and he goes, "Looking to buy some paint?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "Oh, you looking to buy some like stain?" And I go, "Nah, I'm not gonna buy anything." And he goes, "Okay, well, let me know if you need anything." And he just walks into the back, does not try to get anything else from me at all. And I learned later that he told Adam that he thought I was going to kill him.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, it was just like, well, this is when I die. Like he was just like watching him. He was like, maybe I should text my wife. And then I finally come in and I'm like, what's up? What's up? And he was like, oh, you know them? I'm like, yeah, I do. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay. And he kind of gave me a
the context
look.
was not there until Adam got back from work. I just stayed there on my phone waiting for him to come back.
You probably should have
I
said
thought it
something
was so
instead of just
funny.
sitting there.
Well, I mean, I was going to, but then he was like, "Oh, you're not gonna buy anything, okay?" And just like walked away. And I was like, I guess he's got something to do in the back, or maybe he's just a not social guy. I didn't want to like follow him and start hounding him.
I think the funniest part was after he loves telling people that story, and I always love listening to it. But I brought it up one time where he's like, "Yeah, like I was like, oh, this is how I'm gonna die." And I was like, "That's hilarious because comparatively, you could absolutely have taken them like handedly." And he kind
Oh,
of looked
yeah.
at me, smiled, and then he's like, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah, like it
That was
never
it.
crossed his mind that he would have won the fight.
Oh,
It was
absolutely.
because for people who are listening,
Hello.
I am 100 pounds soaking wet, and I am not a strong person. I am very much a twig. I am lanky, and Adam's boss is like a 300-pound black man, and
Keeps
I
himself well in shape.
keeps himself in pretty good shape because he owns a paint store. you know, and he isn't one of those like armchair CEOs. He fucking like is in a store pretty much every day, from what I've heard from Adam. You know, lifting gallons of paint and working out, and so he's a buff dude, and I'm just like I cook pizza sometimes, and I don't work out, and also I weigh nothing. And so the idea that he was even a little bit threatened by my presence of me just sitting there menacingly is really funny. Because honestly, when I go into a room and just sit there menacingly, I'm worried that I'm gonna get attacked.
Was there anybody else in the store when you walked in?
No.
Nope.
Well, I mean, I'd be kind of nervous if somebody walked in, sat down, and was like, "I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm just gonna sit here," no matter who it was. It's weird. It said nothing.
I love too that I want to say actually when you messaged me, you just kind of said, "Are you working?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just on lunch right now." And I want to say you didn't say anything else. So like
No,
I was
I
like,
didn't.
yeah. So I was like, are they coming in? Like, should I rush back? Ah, nah. They would have said something if they were coming in. Then I come in and see you. I'm like, probably should have said something. I guess like we should have let them know when I was coming in or something.
It's fine, it's fine. But yeah, that was my introduction to Adam's boss. And now whenever I see him, he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And he like daps me up. Like last time I saw him was my first time seeing him after moving back to the area, after being gone for like a year. And he was like, "Oh, you're visiting?" And I was like, "No, actually, I moved back recently." And he's like, "Oh, that's great, that's great. You want Zaxby's?" And then he just kind of left and bought me and Adam Zaxby's, and it was great. Oh, speaking of Zaxby's, I got a strange tip from a customer the other day.
What? Did you get like a gift
What?
card as a tip?
I got a Zaxby's
Oh my
gift
God.
card as a tip.
I thought he was-
I'll put a picture of it in the chat just so that it can be in the actual podcast. But yeah, I got a customer came in. It was even weird because of this. The customer came in, told me that she needed 10 pizzas in like 4 hours, and I was like, "All right, cool. That's great." In my system I can put in that someone needs pizza later. And so I put it in like to be made later, and then I go about my business. Completely forget this interaction, and she's paid for it like when she came in the first time. So she comes in the second time, you know, to pick up her food, and you know, she picks it up, no issue. I barely talk to her because it's I think it was like a Saturday, and so it was busy. But I uh I barely talk to her, and she leaves. You know, just another customer in my day. And she comes back an hour later and goes, "Thank you so much for that pizza. That was really helpful of you." And I don't remember her at this point. I've talked to maybe 60 more people since I had last seen her. And so I'm like, "Oh, you're welcome. You know, I'm glad you enjoyed the pizza. You know, it's all that we sell here, so I know that's what you bought." And she goes, "You and the other gentleman, were you the only two that were here this morning when I first came in?" And at that point, I'm like, "Oh, I know who you are." I'm like, "Yeah, we were the only two people that were here." And she goes, "Are you the ones that made my pizza?" And I'm like, well, you know, like one of our part-time employees came in and helped a little bit, but he's kind of like learning, so he was more like observe, help a little. It wasn't like super involved. Did you have a problem with it or something? Because that would rest like squarely on me and my other coworker's shoulders." And she goes, "No," and she hands me two $10 Zaxby's gift cards, and she goes, "This is for you and your coworker." And I'm like, "Okay." And she goes, "That's all. Have a nice day," and just leaves. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Do you think she went out like when she left to go buy those for you?
I mean, maybe.
I was wondering
maybe.
that too.
Maybe she did. I actually had a similarly weird interaction with a customer today, where when you order pizza online, you can request that it be like cut in a specific way. So you can request that it have like 6 slices or 8 slices, anywhere up to like 16. Or you can request that it's cut into like square slices instead of the standard triangles. And we're training the new guy that I was just telling you about. And he had come in at that point, so he was learning the oven for the day. And that's, you know, oven, takes it out of the oven, cuts it, boxes it, you know, puts it out to be ready to be picked up. And so it was on him to cut the pizzas, and he missed that this pizza was supposed to be square cut. And so he cuts it regularly, and nobody notices because nobody's really micromanaging the dude. And the customer comes in and checks the pizza before he leaves, and he's got this bag of Reese's cups with him. And we're right next to a supermarket, and it's almost Halloween. And so I'm like, I guess he just went to the supermarket to grab like his Halloween candy, and then came in here to get his pizza. I don't think much of it. And he checks the pizza and he goes, "Oh, do you guys not do square cut here anymore?" And from my view, I can see the sticker on the front of the pizza box, and sideways it's written square cut. And I'm like, "Oh no, we do. Oh no, we're training someone new. I'm so sorry about that, sir. I can get that like completely remade for you if it's that big of a deal, or I can just like add the square cut so that it's like a bunch of weird shaped slices. How can I make it right for you, sir? I can give you like a partial refund, anything to help the customer, because that's what we're taught to do." And he goes, "Oh no, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal." And I'm like, "Are you sure, sir? Because I can fix it for you." And he's like, "Nah, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I was just kind of interested to see what a square cut pizza would look like." And I'm like, "All right, well, shut the fuck up." And so I'm like,
Sorry.
"Okay, well, have a good day, sir." And he tosses the bag of Reese's to me, and then goes, "Have a good one, man," and leaves before I can do anything about it. And so I'm just like, what the fuck? And it's like this 3-pound bag of snack-sized Reese's cups. And so I'm just like, what
That's
the hell?
incredibly
And
dope.
and my boss was like now at the oven because he had heard me saying something was wrong, and so he came up to like check what happened. And I turn around and I'm just holding a bag of Reese's, and he goes, "Whoa, dude!" And like gets super excited because apparently they're his favorite candy, and I'm not big into Reese's. And so I just handed the bag to him, and he immediately opened the cooler under like the fridge that's built
Oh,
into our like topping station. He opens the fridge and just goes bam and just
yeah.
throws them in there with all of his might, and then slams the door shut. And he goes, "That'll be great in about 2 hours," and then just goes back to what he was doing. And I was
Oh,
like, "All right, that was
cold
interesting."
Reese's are so good. I almost said Reese's. I hate myself. I'm never saying that. No, but
I thought
cold Reese's are so good.
they're the best way to eat them, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
You can go out and buy. Wait, never mind. I guess you can't.
No, you
Technically.
can't. I mean, you could technically go to the store, and as your like first stop, you grab a bag of Reese's and just throw it into the ice cream aisle, and just like put it in a random freezer, and then get the rest of your shopping done and come back for it.
Tell an employee, don't touch that. That's there for me.
Yeah, I was about. I like the idea of just standing there looking at it, and if an employee comes back, just like leave.
I'm doing
Weed.
something.
Don't look. I'm doing something special.
Dude, I used to when I was like young. My parents had watched this sitcom that I don't even know if it's around anymore. It's called The Middle, and it was just like a I guess the equivalent of like just like a American slice of life sitcom. And the only thing I remember from this show is a like short little segment of the show where the mom is at the store walking around with a box of cereal just eating while she's shopping, and some employee comes up and like gives her the stink eye, and she just goes, "I'm gonna buy it," and just like keeps shopping. That's the only thing I remember from that show.
I don't get people who I know that's like a thing that people do, especially with like drinks, where they like go to a store and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna drink this drink as I'm like shopping and pay for it." I could not do that. That's not. It's
Yeah, that feels weird to
I
me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can kind of understand it. I think I've done it once or twice. But I think the real like champions of that is the grocery beer guys who you mostly see on like Sundays,
I've
where
never
they've
heard of
got.
that.
I see it. Because I'm in like a shopping center at work. I pop into the like store that I'm next to probably like once or twice a shift, just for like my lunch, and then I go in there just to like take a break away from the absolute madness that is a pizza kitchen when you're a manager. And it seems like every Sunday, it's probably not every Sunday, but it seems like it is. where I go in there and there's a middle-aged white guy pushing around a shopping cart, and he's got the 12 or 18 case of like canned beer, and it's just like opened on one side, and there's an empty can like in the baby spot in the carriage, and he's holding one. It's
That's
obviously
crazy.
not that exact situation every time, but I can see so vividly in my mind just like dude walking around Kroger holding a beer, you know.
Isn't it like illegal to like drink out in public or something like that? Isn't
Uh
it like
Depends
in
where you
in
live.
most places,
I
I'm
feel like
not
that's
sure if
not
it is where we live.
okay.
I think no, we're not a dry state. I think as long as you're not like being publicly like disorderly or anything, I think you're good.
Yeah,
And
I think
driving, don't
I
drive.
yeah, I think that you're allowed to public drink here, but not be publicly intoxicated.
Okay,
I
that's
Yeah,
I
probably what I was thinking
think
of.
I think that's the rule.
Was
I
it?
know
I don't
that
know.
there are states where you can't drink in public at all because like when I was living in Detroit for a year, every single like small town area that we would go to, there would be like a sign on either side of it where it's like past these signs you will get arrested for drinking like on the sidewalk. But like because you were on like Bar Street, you were allowed, you know.
I looked it up because it was curious. You can be drunk in public here. Depending on the jurisdictions, some places let you have open containers. You just can't drive and drink.
Okay, okay. That's good to know. I'll keep that in mind for next time we go to a con.
I thought you were gonna say next time we go to Kroger, like you see one of those guys. Hey, you're doing good. You're not doing anything bad. Keep it up.
Fight the good
Hey,
fight.
hey man,
Hey, pass me one.
the shopping beer is also the like I got out of bed today like energy where it's like they're like celebrating the smallest thing.
Man, I always hate shopping for beer just because the place we usually shop for, me and my family,
Mm-hmm.
the Kroger nearest us, it has like a messed up area where the beer is. Like everything is nicely clean, like the floor's all level, and then right during the beer aisle, if you have a cart, it's just no 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 no. Like, it's so uneven, and I don't know what in the world happened to it. It looks like someone just like dragged a forklift, forks just straight down and just dug into the ground. I hate it. It's
Dude,
like they're shaming me for getting alcohol.
dude, the biggest effect that the hurricane that just came through had on my life was realizing how many holes there are in both my pizza shop ceiling and also the Kroger ceiling. Because during the hurricane I walked over there because there's like a covered walkway to get there. And so, I'm in my store being like, all right, here's a bucket, here's a bucket, here's a bucket, placing like buckets around to catch all the dripping water. And also like taking pictures to document to send to like higher powers to get it fixed. And I go to Kroger expecting it to be better. And there is like a giant tub that you would store like Christmas decorations in that is containing like a cascade of water like in their front like shopping cart area. And I'm like, what the fuck? There's gotta be like a giant hole up there. And I look up and it's just like this waterfall. And I'm like, what is happening? And as I'm standing there looking at it, a Kroger employee comes out with an empty bucket and just like quickly swaps it under and then walks away with a full bucket of water. And I was like, what the fuck? Has this been their whole day? What are they gonna do when they close? Like, it's clearly filling the bucket every like 45 minutes, maybe. So like clearly they have to have someone here all night to
That's their
empty the
only job.
bucket, right? Yeah, it's their
Watch the
only
bucket.
job.
If you guys had to sleep at Kroger, what aisle would you choose?
I don't know
Like
Kroger, so
number or product?
Either or. I don't
Because
personally. I don't know that. I don't
with
know
the
what aisle
number
sevens are.
4.
I feel
Actually,
like you
no.
choose it based
I
on
take it
product.
back. I take it back because the freezer aisles are always at one end of the store. So if I have aisle 4, there's a solid chance it's in a freezer. So let's go with aisle 9.
I don't think
All
there's
right.
Kroger down where I live. So I've never been to one. So I guess the freezer. I don't know.
You guess the freezer? You'd want to sleep in the
I
freezer?
love cold Yeah.
Let me get into hyperbolic sleep. He just closes the freezer that goes into like the the hot pockets.
Oh, yeah. I would be eating frozen food, frozen Uncrustables.
Frozen
Absolutely.
Uncrustable.
Yeah,
You
I
could
do
grab a
that.
bag of Reese's.
Don't give me ideas. I gotta find a Kroger near me now.
I have to go break into a Kroger.
Specifically Kroger.
There's no other place to shop that has Reese's and freezers.
What about Walmart
Yeah, but that's
Bro.
Walmart.
or Costco?
Oh my. Oh,
Public?
I've always like. I know it's weird, but I've always wanted to like stay overnight at a Costco just to
No,
see what that's like.
that does sound really fun.
Just to see what it's like.
Well, same question, I guess. Where would you sleep at a Costco?
Well, sleep probably at like the furniture area because some Costco, the one near me, has like a furniture area, so I'd sleep there. But I'd make like forts all over the place with like
The Costco near
the
Adam and
boxes.
I has a freezer section that is just like you walk into this giant room that is like a 4-car garage, and the entire room is just like 30 degrees. And like it's like a standard shopping area with like shelves and shit, but it's all of the shit that would normally be in the freezers. And I think I would like get like a tent and camp in there.
Why? What?
I don't know.
Why? Just sleep
It'd
on
be
the floor
fun.
then. Why do you need a tent?
It's a little bit warmer in the tent.
Well, if you want to be warm, get out of the freezer. Get out of the
No,
freezer room.
that's too warm. The room's got to be cold, but I've got to be warm.
Makes it feel like it's camping in the big outdoors.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so weird sounding to me for some reason.
All right. All right.
Room cold, me warm.
Well, I mean, the podcast is called Irregular Period. So
Yeah.
For a minute, when you were talking about like this lady gave me a weird tip from Zaxby's, I thought you were about to say like, yeah, she just told me their secret sauce recipe. It was weird. Like I thought we were about
It's
to
a
hear
big
some
leak.
Zaxby. Yeah, it came from this woman who went to a Pizza Hut. If you order a number 4 with secret sauce.
dude, that's fucking great.
Yeah, I don't know
Dude,
what
could you imagine like you're checking out a customer and it's the way that it works for me is whenever I check out a customer, the pin pad pops up the like do you want a tip thing. And it also says on my screen, like on the register facing me, waiting for customer to select tip. And like it blacks out the rest of my screen so I can't do anything until they do it. And then when they select sign, they can use their card. Could you imagine if somebody was like 0% tip and then slid you like the McDonald's secret menu?
What?
It'd be kind of amazing though.
Like wisdom is more powerful than money.
Just
I
gives you a book instead.
I feel like they have to say like a weird phrase though. It's like you never put a tomato in a fruit salad, and then you just like fucking slides you the menu.
Now I kind of want to go to like a Starbucks and tip them like a DVD copy of
Don't
Cars.
do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Those poor
But
people.
it could be really funny.
Those poor people. Just like dealing with people all day. Here, have some. Here's a DVD. Take that. Find a place to put that while you're working.
I'm sure you have a DVD player at home here. In this streaming
Well, it would be
age.
like the Zaxby's gift card for me. You know,
That's a gift card.
I guess the gift card is slightly more useful, but the lady doesn't even know if I like chicken. But like I guess that's slightly more useful, but it's still like that's just a funny thing to talk about with your coworkers, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Like guys, I was running the fucking register and this weirdo came up and just gave me cars.
Okay, now,
Weird tips
now
are
that
always-
you're explaining it like that, that's kind of funny.
Exactly. Like it's like I get tipped $10 and I'm like cool, and then I kind of move on with my day. You know, I get tipped a bag of Reese's and I'm like dude,
And your boss
that's
fucking
great. I'm gonna
Your
remember this for like 2 weeks.
and your boss Hadoukens them into a fucking fridge.
Yeah, my boss. You know, he's my boss.
You've heard my weirdest tip story. You were working with me when I had my weirdest tip story.
I don't remember your weirdest tip story.
It was at the other place we used to work at, name
Well, I
redacted.
would I would assume.
No, I know. But I was helping out this dude who a lot of times I think he knew that people didn't really like helping him, and I'd always just meet him with a smile. He was always super nice, so like I just always dug it. He came back from Colorado, and I helped him immediately. You know, same thing. I was like, oh yeah, of course, I can help you, man. I think I even bent the rules a little bit to help him out. He was like, oh nah, man, you're here all the time. Like I don't mind. And so we went like, all right, here, I wanna give you a tip. I wanna thank you. Here, let's go over this way. And he pointed to a way where the camera wasn't showing. I'm like, all right, like I'm either gonna die or this is gonna be interesting. He walked me over and he just like palmed me. He dapped me
Oh,
up
I
and he
remember
palmed
this.
me a baggie of weed.
I
And I'm
remember
just like,
this.
what is this? Like I went to open my hand. He's like, no, don't show it, dude. Put it in your pocket. I'm like, all right. What is it? And he's like, I got it in Colorado. I'm like, all right, thanks, man. And he left. Super
Like, that
nice, but
matters.
I don't smoke. So I gave it to one of the other people working with us. But it was the funniest thing of all time.
Dude, that store was such a fun place to work because it was just you as like the manager, me as the assistant manager, and one of our other friends as like the standard employee, but it didn't really matter what our roles were because it was just three dudes, three friends working at this store together. And
Three guys.
it yeah, it was so weird because it would be like it would be your day off and it would be me and our other friend working, and then you would just like come in and just be there, and we would be like, "You're not getting paid to be here, you know." And you'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, I know," and just like hang around for an hour or two and chat. Or on like my days off, I would just come in and hang out, or like other dudes would do the same thing. It was barely a job, and then one day you're just hanging out, and it's just like, oh, you're fired, by the way, and it's like, forgot that this was a job. Goodbye.
Bye. Yeah.
Like peace out. I'm out. I'm gonna go find probably an actual job this time. Goodbye.
I'll never forget drop a loaf for Jesus. We had this one
Oh
girl
my
who
fucking god.
we had this one girl, she would always whenever she worked on Sunday, it's like, oh, it's the Lord's Day. Like how can I work? Kind of joking around, and I'm just like, yeah, nah, she's right. Somebody's got to do it for Jesus. She was like, heck yeah. It's like, yeah, somebody has to drop it low for Jesus. She's like, oh Lord, like it's like you're doing too much, Adam. I'm like, no, we got to drop it low for Jesus. So it became just this big thing. I hope she's doing well. She was super nice.
Look, I don't think I've ever told you this, but every store manager was supposed to make like a list of rules for the store to follow. You know, it was
Okay.
supposed to be like don't steal or whatever, but it was supposed to be like an established list of rules that the store had. And when it was me, Adam, and our friend, there was one rule on the rule board, and it was no kink shaming.
What? What?
That was the
Was our
only
one
rule.
rule.
That was the only rule, and I had the rule cited to me more times than I can remember.
What?
He would he would just I would make a joke to our other friend. He'd be like, "Don't forget, Nikki, no kink shaming," and then he would just go back to what he was doing.
Sometimes I'd be on the opposite side of the store and was like, no kink shaming, and I just keep working.
What
I knew-
store
I-
was this?
I knew they went redacted.
It was a gaming store.
What? Why is that?
I knew they wouldn't
Never- I'm
steal.
not
Like
gonna-
I wasn't gonna go like, all right, don't steal, don't lure. Saying, let's make it fun. Don't kink shame. I don't know.
Yeah, and then whenever we would
That was a
get
weird
new
boss.
staff for the like 2 weeks that they would work with us, during their like first day, you'd be like, "All right, number one rule is do not kink shame," and like you would say it like deadpan to
That's.
them.
I feel
And
like
they'd
that's
be like, what? And you'd be like, yeah, don't kink shame. And they would be like, I mean, I wasn't going to. And you'd be like, good. And then you would just like move
I
on.
feel like that's a huge like job deal breaker. If the first day you work there, the people you're working with is just like, hey, don't kink shame here.
I know you didn't mean it that way, but it sounds like you just go into a place and be like, all right, look, before I agree, can I kink shame? Like yours is a yes or no thing. Like, I can't. You walk out.
That's a make or break deal, dude. If I can't kink shame at work, why am I there?
It's a binary.
It is a binary. Dude, that was it's up there for one of the most fun jobs I've had. I think my current job is beaten it in a few ways. But it was by far the strangest job I've ever had. Like we could not go more than like 2 weeks without some like brain altering thing happening to us. And I mean that in both good and bad ways.
What does that
Like,
mean?
dude, I'm telling you, schmuck. We would come into work and like we would just be hanging out, because it was pretty slow. We weren't busy all the time. Most of us working was us just kind of like in an empty store, like bullshitting with each other. And then we would get a customer in and we would stop bullshitting and just like look at them while they shopped around.
Oh,
Because, well, not because we're like trying to get them to leave, but because we're trying to be helpful and do like the customer service thing, but they're also the only person in there, so they get both of our attention.
that's gotta be so awkward.
Oh, it was
That's
a lot of the
so
time,
awkward.
but we got through it. But we would just be like bullshitting, empty store, and then like some guy would come in and just be like, "Hey, do you guys sell knives?" And we'd be like, "No, no, we don't sell knives. Why would we sell knives? You look around. Why would we sell knives?" And he'd be like, "I don't know. Knives are like in Call of Duty, so I thought you might." And then he would leave. Like
I think I
just
remember
shit
that.
like that. Like the like little things that alter your brain chemistry just a little bit, so that you make that joke later in life or something. Just like little shit like that. And then occasionally like really funny big events would happen. Like excuse me, Adam, if you don't remember this as funny, because you probably don't. But there was a day where Adam and I had to change the giant poster that was hung behind the cash register. And it was so big that I was standing on the counter of the cash register to get like the top of it, while Adam stood like slightly left and below me to get the bottom of it. And so I'm up there and I accidentally drop it and it fell into his eye and like permanently damaged his vision.
And my eye's
And
still blurry.
yeah, his
That's-
eye is still blurry. And
Jesus.
I think for about 30 minutes I was like on the floor crying, laughing,
That's
because
evil.
he was
What?
he was being such a good sport about it. And like he was like, "Oh fuck, that hurt," but he was also laughing, and it was a great time. I have this
I think I
video
helped
on
the
my
customer.
phone.
I think
Yeah,
I
you
helped the
helped the
customer
customer.
while I was doing
Yeah.
that. Like my one of my eyes was closed. I'm like,
you
you need
blinked
anything?
at them like 90 times. But I have this video on my phone of it's me recording with my left hand and me holding something in my right hand that you can't see. And I'm recording Adam on the other side of the store, like fixing the shelves because people mess them up all the time when they would come in, like putting the games back in like order and shit. And I just go, how's your shift going, Adam?" And he goes, "It's all good." And then you just see like a giant red ball get thrown from behind the camera and hit him in the head. And you hear me go, "Ooh," and then the video ends. It's such a good video, dude.
I injured myself so many times with that store. Like one time, I accidentally headbutted a peg, like a hanging peg, and this was before I was the store manager. So I'm like, hey, dude, like I called the the current store manager, and he's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Hey, you're going to the store, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Can you grab Band-Aids?" He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Just grab them." He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, grab them." Hang up. And then he came into my forehead bleeding slightly, and I was helping customers. And I think someone were like, "You okay, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, someone's coming with Band-Aids." And he just looked at me. He's like, "How? I've been gone for 5 minutes." I think I just kind of gave him a thumbs up, took the Band-Aids, put it on my head, and then I continued working.
I'll get Band-Aids soon. Man, I have more videos from our old job than I thought I did. I found the video. Adam, are we cool with people knowing where we used to work?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We used to work at GameStop. I'll put the video in the chat. Feel free to like edit it into the podcast, schmuck. But you guys should watch this. It's 4 seconds long.
It's all good. I forgot the sound it made.
Yeah, it made a meaty sound, and I think
Wait,
that's
was that
why
the
I started
sound?
laughing.
I was
Yeah,
like-
that was the sound.
of like the ball hitting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Like I immediately see my head start going down.
Yeah. Yeah, you immediately start like falling to the ground. If I remember correctly, I think that I actually missed the throw.
No, you did hit me.
I hit you. I could have
Yeah.
sworn that I hit like one of the game shelves and just knocked all of the games over, and
No,
that's why it made such
That's
a
what it sounds
sound.
like. Yeah.
You hit a shelf and then it hit me. It bounced off the
Okay,
shelf into my
okay.
head.
Okay. Yeah, but I started laughing, dude. I was like cackling behind the register for about 10 minutes.
Stuff like this makes me like want to quit my job more because like nothing goes on with my job.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, there's such a magic to like going somewhere and getting along with your coworkers to the point where you just become friends. Like it's I cannot truly elaborate how just freeing it is.
It's always
Here,
nice.
let
It always makes
me
working so much easier.
I'm gonna step away for a second and look at these other videos that I have real quick. I'll be right back.
Make sure none of them mention any of our social security numbers.
Is that a thing you have to worry about? Do you like
Probably not.
say them out loud to each other?
It would be really funny if there's just like a video of one of us just standing, like looking at the camera straight on and just reading our social security number. That would be really funny. I always think it's funny. I always think it's funny. Each one of my jobs, I kind of got an accident because, like, I used to work at pizza delivery when I was in high school, and it was like my friend. My friend recommended me, and they're like, "We'll give them a trial run," and they're like, "Ah, yeah, we'll keep you." And then at GameStop as well, they were like, "Ah, we'll do a seasonal. We'll see if you're good enough." And they're like, "Ah, we'll keep you." And in this place too, they were like, "Ah, you want a job for a week?" They're like, "Yeah, sure." And then the guy who was there. He's like, "You seem all right. Do you know anything about paint?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "All right, we'll keep you." Every single one of them, they're like trial period, and then they just either I wiggle my way in, we're like, "Ah, we'll keep him anyways," or they're just like, "I like this kid. He has good moxie."
Knows nothing about paint, but you know, he seems pretty nice.
I'm learning.
Dude, I have this video where this is the only other good video I have. It's you and me in the store, and I guess we lost power or something. But I'm just like panning around the store. I like how we don't have power, and it gets to you standing like right next to the front door, just standing there, and you go, "That's not good." And then you just go, "What are you doing?" The moment that you see me recording, and I just end the video right there. I can
That's not
post
good.
it, but it very clearly has you in it, Adam. So I'll only post it if you are fine with that.
I don't care.
Okay. I wanted to make sure.
That's
But
not good.
that's the only other good video I have. Every other video I have is like me looking at a giant leak in the ceiling and recording it to send to my boss, or like me like finding like 7 games stacked on top of each other when they shouldn't have been, just being like, what the fuck?
Do you have any ones of one of you standing in front of the camera reading your social security number?
I don't. I think those are on Adam's phone.
That's unfortunate.
Oh yeah, they're on my phone.
Here's the video.
All right. What are you doing?
All right. What are you doing?
Yeah, you can see the front door shutters down because we didn't have power.
So you just close the shutters?
Well, yeah, because we
Yeah.
can't help anyone.
I mean,
Our
you still
registers aren't working.
You still could. Just go off to like the bartering system. You want a game? What do you got?
Give me,
I'll
give me your
give you
goat.
Far Cry 6 for a goat.
I missed that shirt. That was such a good shirt. I actually did have someone come up and be like, "Hey, can I buy this game?" I think they were messing with me, but I'm still not sure. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that'll be $25." Like, what if I offer you a goat? I'm like, money, please. It's like, what about a goat and a chicken? It's like that doesn't sound like money.
That's fantastic. I
Like-
would have said yes to see what they did.
Well, the thing is, I honestly did think that they would bring out a goat and a chicken. That's the only reason I didn't want to test it.
Well, see the thing is there, right? Uh, if I do that trade, right, and I take the goat and the chicken, then I'll just pay for the game, like with my money, and then I've actually
So
just in turn bought a goat and a chicken for like $20.
What are you gonna do with a goat and a chicken?
Sell them for what they're actually worth.
Where do you sell them? Do you know somewhere?
The state fair, or I go to the local Tyson chicken plant.
Oh god, no! Don't say that. You go to the plant with a goat.
No, we're in like a semi-rural area, so I'd probably just
Okay.
find a farm and just go be like, hey, you want a goat and a chicken?
Hey, you want my chicken? Someone sold them for a copy of Fallout 3.
Dude, I love the idea that he would have gone home and been like, Ma, I sold the goat. Oh, that's great, honey. How much did you get? Fallout 4.
Like his version of Jack and the Magic Beanstalk.
Yeah, exactly.
Go out and sell our goat, little Timmy.
I got this magical copy of Fallout 4 that comes with Nuka World.
You don't even have an Xbox.
But one day I will, and when I do, gosh darn it, I'll be prepared.
But if I plant this copy of Fallout 3 into the ground, an Xbox will grow. Idiot kid.
As it's
Xbox,
growing, you put your ear up to the dirt and you just hear 4 times the detail. You're growing a little baby Todd Howard.
Ugh.
Uh,
Does he come?
Not
with
like a baby, but like it's Todd Howard, but he's like 6 inches tall.
yeah. I like to
Oh,
imagine
okay.
it's a baby with Todd Howard's actual head.
I feel like that's even worse. But just having a little Todd Howard.
Would it
Gotta change Todd Howard's diapers.
would it baby babble or would it talk like Todd Howard?
It would baby babble in Todd Howard's voice.
It's like
I'm
if
not
adult
sure how
Todd
I feel
Howard
about that.
was babbling.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think I like the idea that it's the baby's like voice pitch, but they're just rattling about how Fallout 76 is going to be groundbreaking.
I wish I liked
8
Fallout.
times the density. 5 times the quests. Huge open world with all of your friends. The game's actually pretty good these days, though.
I've heard
Fallout
it
76 in general.
Yeah, Fallout 76. I played a good bit of it when I was kidding myself and pretending I was going to get married at 22.
It's a rough way to put that.
I mean, it's what happened.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You know, no sense like not making a joke out of it. You know, if it's worthy of joke material, it's worthy of joke material. It's not like I sit up at night thinking of my ex-wife every Tuesday.
Oh, God.
No, that is a joke. I do not do that. I am busy playing D&D on Tuesdays.
Not like I've eaten a carton of every ice cream ever created every night.
I try a new flavor every week. This week is strawberry swirl.
Swirly. Like my emotional state.
Jesus Christ. It got dark for a second.
Did.
Gotta go back to baby Todd Howard. Bring the mood up.
That's your safe zone?
That's- Why is that the safe zone?
Because he's talking about how great it is.
That's a disturbing ass safe zone.
Yeah.
Baby Todd Howard would never lie to me.
Schmuck, you mentioned before we started that you were gonna change your Discord picture soon, and I want to touch on this Discord picture and the ripples that it has caused on your life before you change the picture and we never talk about it again. Can you post the picture in chat so that it gets put on the episode?
I don't know if it's on I think it's on my phone, but I have this picture. It's of this Sea of Thieves character. I think it's a YouTuber's like joke or whatever, but I kind of stole it. I have it as my desktop wallpaper. I have a keyboard that has a little screen on it, so it's on there. I have it as a huge mouse pad. It's my
That was real?
Yep, it's real. I have it.
So that's the picture.
It's
I just put it in chat.
Steam profile picture. and my Discord profile picture and banner. It's the same picture. And when I first found it, I found it so funny.
So I want to clarify a little bit here that the reason that he found it so funny was because it was a mouse pad. Like, he found it, and then he was like, this is a funny pirate, and then he was like, wait, there's a mouse pad, and it just kind of spiraled from there.
He has the guy who made the store, or the store that I got it from. He has it as a mask, like, you know, like a balaclava, but that picture is over it. Let me see if I can find it. But
If you do end up changing your Discord photo, can I ask that you change it to Todd Howard with a baby body photoshopped on?
oh Jesus!
Here's a picture of Schmuck's setup. As it
Thank you.
turns.
I was looking for it. Thank you. Here's the mask as well.
What is the...
It's $20.
I haven't seen that one before.
It's new.
Adam, if you look at the keyboard, the setup picture real quick, do you see the little screen that he has on his keyboard?
Yes.
Yeah, it's also on his keyboard. But
It used to be a
so
little
this
cat,
this picture has just become like this running joke in the friend group that Schmuck and I share, where every 2 or 3 days someone will be like, "Hey Gus, how's or hey Schmuck, how's Gus?" And he'll be like, "It's good," and then we just kind of move on.
You should have it where on the little soundboard. I think that's a soundboard thing there. You should just have it when he pushes his nose. It just says, "I'm good."
I'm good.
He
Pretty good.
he can almost like talk to you or respond.
You should do the popping cat meme thing where he just opens his mouth like a circle every time he talks.
How would I do that? Do I have to like edit the picture? Do I have his mouth
Well,
open?
you just use the like blowout tool on Photoshop on his
okay.
mouth, and then you just fill it with like red and give it a bit of shading, I think.
And isn't Gus worth it?
Absolutely.
Look at him.
I tried to. So because it's not my Sea of Thieves character,
Like this.
I tried to make it my own. So I spent like a good hour in like the Sea of Thieves character creator thing, the random pirate generator or whatever, trying to find that like as close as I can get it.
And what did you end up with?
My current guy. Let me get a picture of him in his.
Before you
protruding
post
nipples.
this, before you post this and grace us with your pirate's presence, I want to make a note that Schmuck has changed his pirate like 4 times in the last few months, trying to get like a funny pirate. But before all of this, he had like a really good-looking female pirate who genuinely looked like one of the best like random rolled Sea of Thieves pirates that you could get.
Because you get like
looked like an actual like badass pirate. And Schmuck was like, you know what? I want to be a really, really fat pirate. And so just like threw the really good looking pirate in the bin and started every month and a half or something he changes how his pirate looks and how to get a funnier looking
this
one.
is my guy now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I've said it before, and I will say it again. I fucking hate how prominent his nipples are. Every time you send me this image, it's the first fucking thing I see.
This dude's pirate name would definitely be Cannon Mike because he's shaped like the actual cannon. Like I feel like he fits perfectly into it.
Fucking Cannon Mike.
Like you could spin him and he'll just like perfectly into the cannon.
Schmuck does this really. Oh, you also did this. Before we move too far away from the fucking Gus thing, hold on.
Are you talking about what? Are you gonna mention Timmy?
No, I'm gonna mention your TF2 thing. Schmuck has also done this in Team Fortress 2.
So you can have a sign in that game that you can walk around with it with any picture you want on it. So I made him Gus. I have a Gus sign now that I show people, and then I type in chat when they're looking at it. That's me. So they know that that's me.
IRL picture.
But yeah, anyway, Schmuck does this thing where he uses the like features on Steam that barely anyone uses,
It's
Adam,
not-
I don't think I've ever told you this, but he posts screenshots like often and captions them, and then he reviews games often, and that's a very fun source of entertainment for me is reading his reviews back to them because they all are completely nonsensical, and we can probably get into them in another episode. But part of that is that every now and then a picture of his Sea of Thieves pirate will come across my Steam. Because whenever I click on a game, if Schmuck has recently posted a screenshot for that game, it pops up for me right next to the play button. So I have to look at it. And earlier this week, I was forced to look at this image of Schmuck's pirate.
Yeah, I found
I
a
remember
pineapple on the beach, so I just took a little seat next to
I remember seeing this picture.
it. What's wrong with it?
Nothing. I thought it was funny. I liked it.
Dude, we posted this photo in the like voice chat for our Discord friend group one night while we were hanging out. And the only person that commented on it was another one of our friends. And they just went, "Is your boat sinking in the background?" And they did not care about anything else in the photo. They were just like, "Is your boat sinking?"
Probably a
I-
pet pig on it. That's why I was thinking.
I think I'm the only one in our friend group who hates your current pirate this much.
I love it because it's.
I know
I've
that you
never
love it.
It's so close, or it's the closest I could probably get to the
Yeah.
original Gus picture. But I want to. I like changing it. I
Yeah.
like changing my pirate a lot to just do other stupid jokes.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
I
I
don't
want
want
to
to get rid of them.
see. I want to see if I can find a photo of your original pirate before you changed it.
I have a bunch of like unuploaded screenshots of my like original character that I had when I first started playing the game, and then I had I think the female one you were talking about that I had, and then I had the one after that, the one that looked like Jay Schlatt.
Yeah, the Jake Schlatt pirate.
But I had I think one or two in between that I just don't have pictures of.
Schmuck also does this thing, also in Sea of Thieves, where he uploads pictures of his cat super often.
It's Timmy.
Yeah, his cat is named Timmy. And so 9 times out of 10, when I go to launch Sea of Thieves, I see his cat in just like real weird scenarios. It's never regular either.
What do you mean?
It's always-
that's a regular picture. It's just Timmy.
It says yacht at the top.
There was a ship sailing behind that I didn't see, and when it popped up, what's wrong with Timmy?
I love the
There's nothing wrong with Timmy. He just finds himself in a bunch of weird situations.
Hold on, let me. So
Like this one, where he is massive compared to his head for some reason.
Look, I was looking through my screenshots. Look at, I take so many screenshots that I just don't use. Look at this wall of Gus.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to get the right angle and everything.
Dude, even in this like collage, you can see the shadows underneath his boobs.
that was part of the newest update.
Oh god.
They updated the boob shadow.
Yeah.
Is that the 3 gigabyte update that I have to download today?
Yes.
They updated the boob shadow.
I feel like this kind of collage is the collage you'd see like in a police show when someone busts someone's door open and they realize like they found the person, but they're not coming back to the place. Like this would just be plastered all over their walls. Like this would be their wallpaper.
With like strings leading from one picture to another.
The strings lead from the picture they love the most to the other picture they love the most.
Dude, I genuinely I love that you use Steam like a social media schmuck because it makes just like browsing Steam so much more of a like an Easter egg hunt for me. Because I'll see like a game come across my feed. I'm like, oh, that looks good, and I'll click on it, and your review will pop up on the store page or something.
I love writing reviews from Steam games. I just turn my brain off and I just start writing.
Here, we can properly go through them in probably next episode. but I'll read one this episode just as like a teaser.
I'm excited. Which one you're gonna pick? There's so many good
I'm
ones.
gonna pick a random one. I'm gonna go to page 3 of your reviews, and I'm gonna do the 5th one.
That's a good page.
This is a review. I don't think I should read this.
Which one did you
Okay,
get?
I'll read the one below it. This is a review for the video game Insurgency Sandstorm. You had 14 hours in the game when you wrote this review. And it just says, I like playing as the wah wah baby class, where all I do is follow around the commander all game who babysits me. Wah wah, I am a baby, babysit me, frowny face. And that's the whole review.
Was it positive or negative?
It's positive. All of them are positive. The game that I didn't want to read the review for is The Division.
That's what like my brain seriously turned off for that one.
That's so ominous.
It's up there. It's one of them.
I'm not gonna read it for the podcast, but I will say that there is a hyperlink in it that just says my house, and if you click on it, it brings you to some Google Map coordinates.
It's my house. So I gotta let everyone know that my.
Again, not gonna read the review, but if you click on the hyperlink, it takes you to a wine bar in Brooklyn that is named Frog.
It's the Frog Wine Bar in Brooklyn. That's my house.
I've only gotten more confused by your clarifications.
It's so confusing, dude. I typically, like, once every 2 weeks, it'll be just Schmuck and I in a Discord voice chat, and I'll go, all right, time to go through your Steam reviews, and he'll start laughing because he already knows what's about to happen, and there will be like 2 or 3 new ones, and by the time we've gotten to like where I've already read, we're both like sobbing laughing because they're just so like ridiculous funny. Like, I genuinely, if this is one of the reasons I wanted to start this podcast, I have no fucking idea how you do that. Like I always say that me and Adam are like super quick-witted and funny, and we can riff off of each other for hours. But Schmuck, you have this ability to be funny when nobody else is in the room, and never once look to see if anyone was paying attention to the joke. Like, you're just making yourself laugh, and then
Yep.
it makes me laugh like 3 weeks later.
That's like
Because
90%
I like find it on the internet.
90% of all my like Steam screenshots and reviews. It's just because I thought it was funny, so I just did it. Especially
Yeah.
my oldest review for
What's your
Team Fortress 2.
oldest review?
It's for Team Fortress 2. I have
All right.
6,000 hours in it,
Oh,
and it's just
I remember this review. This review is on your Steam profile.
Yep. And there's ASCII
I'll
art.
post a picture of this.
It's my favorite one.
I will post this picture. Adam, if you want to read this for me and describe it for the people who are not looking at the podcast.
Okay. All right. I have to poop, and then it's a picture of the scout in ASCII art.
That's the heavy.
Oh, the heavy. My bad. I don't play Team Fortress 2, so I guess I should have done a. I have to poop.
Dude,
Then it's the heavy.
and how many hours are on the game?
6,164.1 hours recorded. It is a positive review posted on November 12th.
Yep. Yeah, and every time I go to Schmuck's profile to like check anything, whether it's his inventory or to get to his list of reviews or anything, it just at the front and center, I have to poop. Heavy's head.
I love that at the very top it says no one has rated this review as helpful yet. 2 people rated this. 2 people found this very funny.
It's not helpful.
It can be helpful.
To who?
Somebody who wants to know my current status of needing to use the bathroom.
Somebody who
That
wants
was
to
your
poop.
status of needing to use the bathroom 8 years ago.
The public wants to know.
And see,
Everybody, yeah, they need to know.
I think for me the funny part is that I don't know if that was you making a joke or if that was you in 2016 being like, I'm gonna make a Steam review, and then as you're like thinking of what to write, you're just like, man, I got a shit. I'm gonna write that, and then just it became a joke. I don't know which one it is.
The way you're depicting, I almost imagine he was like writing like, well, I think the gameplay is really good. And, like the guns, however, had a little bit too much recoil. Ah, this is dumb. I have to poop. Send. There we go. Perfect.
What is the first one? It could be hailed as the origin of schmuck as we know it.
This is
That's
your
my
legacy.
origin.
That's your origin.
That's how I came to
Your
be.
origin is the heavy having to poop.
He pooped you out.
I came into existence in what is it, November 12th in 2016. That's when I came to existence.
This is the earliest like thing I have that you have been a part of. So from my perspective, this is like part of the origin.
As far as
You know?
she's concerned, this is the first thing you ever did.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we've been going for like an hour 15 now, right, Schmuck?
Hour 11.
All right. I think that now is a good point to wrap up. In the future, we want to have like guests on. Probably not every week, but bring some of like our friends in here to chat with us and hang out. Just so that it doesn't get a bit stale. But for first episode, we wanted it to be just us three since we're going to be the ones who are sticking around.
We did almost get just another Porsche 911 in here.
Oh yeah.
Just barely couldn't make it though.
Unfortunately, yeah.
We don't need to provide context for that one.
Nope.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed. In case that we don't introduce ourselves in the intro that we haven't recorded yet. I'm Nikki. To the left of me in Discord, not that you'll see it, is Adam, and to
Hello.
my right is Schmuck.
Woo!
And we'll be your hosts moving forward. Thanks again for watching.
Bye.